my question for you today is, why am I always stuck inside my head? That there's something like that's not me that's like holding on to me, or like I'm holding on to it.
So why do you keep calling that not you, you? I asked you about the silent prayer, and what did you say?
I said I think I'm the worst silent prayer ever.
And what does that mean? Imagine, let's try it again.
Hey, Jesse.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Go ahead.
So my question for you today is, why am I always stuck inside my head?
Because you believe that is you. You believe you're creating the thoughts. You believe all that the thoughts say about you because you are involved in all the thoughts. It's all about you. I this, me this, I this, and me this, and blah, blah, blah. And as long as you believe that is you, you're going to be stuck. But once you can see that you're not your thoughts, you're not creating those thoughts, you'll be free of it.
Like I can see that some thoughts I don't create and they just come, but like some thoughts, like I can think right now about something, or like I can choose to maybe like ask a question in my head or something. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're
like
saying, but that's not true. That's why you're stuck. You are thinking that it's you that is choosing to ask the question, is you choosing to think about this or that. You think that you are capable, you think that you're in control, and you're not. The thinking is wrong. A non-thinking life is an amazing life. A thinking life is hell.
Yeah, like I'm really starting to see that. I'm not enjoying this at all. Like I don't feel like I'm living life as I should be.
And so,
or this is not a life even.
It's not life. It's death. It's not life.
Yeah.
And so, why not just let the thoughts pass through?
Well, these are the questions I find myself asking. Like, why am I so identified with like all these imaginations and all these like scenarios and things I like keep coming up with inside my head, and I'm like, in life I'm not doing anything. I'm just like in my head, you know.
And why don't you wonder, why don't I let these thoughts go? They're not me. I'm not creating these thoughts. I have nothing. I would never think this way that will cause so much hell for myself or false happiness. Why don't you just realize that and let all thoughts go? Why don't you practice just letting thoughts go and doing nothing?
Like I've thought about this before, and I think you had a biblical question related to that, and I think my answer would have to be something along the lines of, because I want credit for overcoming the thoughts or like fixing whatever is going on in there.
Yeah. And that's what people who think are into thinking, they think that they're God and they want credit for everything. And that's the problem. As long as you think that you're God, you will never enter into the kingdom of heaven. A thinking person cannot enter into the kingdom.
Yeah. I can definitely see that, yeah.
And so why not just let the thoughts go and stop thinking that it's you?
I really don't know, but I can only guess, or like an educated guess on my part would have to be like I'm afraid or I'm ashamed or something like that.
You're afraid or ashamed?
Yeah.
You're afraid to let go of thoughts?
I'm afraid to live in the present moment, or like I'm not happy with it.
And how do you know if you never lived there?
Because like when I try to be present, like it gets very uncomfortable all of a sudden.
And who is the you that's get uncomfortable? Who is that?
The me that I've always identified with, or like that I've been referring to myself as all those years.
And so the you that you have been referring yourself to is afraid to live in the present?
Yeah, that looks like yeah.
And why are you afraid to live in the present? If that's you, why are you afraid to live in the present?
Because maybe I don't want to be accountable for my mistakes or these this resentment, I guess, towards the present. I don't want to face up to it.
So if you were living in the present, you would be afraid to face all those things?
I think so.
And where are you getting that thought from, or those thoughts?
From memory, I think, because I've tried, I've been trying to, it's not like I've tried and I've stopped trying, I've been trying to, I'm always falling back into thoughts.
And so...
Constantly.
You're getting memories from living in the present and being afraid to face those things you just said.
No, you're asking how do I know? Then, from experience, not necessarily memory.
Have you ever lived in the present?
Very, for a few seconds at a time, yeah.
And you were afraid living in the present for a few seconds?
It was super uncomfortable and super, unfamiliar to me. It's not comfortable at all.
Oh. Then you have not lived in the present. Because in the present, there's nothing but, there's nothing. There's no fear, no nothing.
I think it's freedom is what it really boils down to. I've got this glimpse of it one time doing the silent prayer.
Yeah.
I felt completely free from the thoughts and everything, but it was just so short. I don't know how to get back to it. Yeah.
And why are you calling when you live for a second in the present? Why are you saying that it was you that was afraid to live in this present? Why are you still calling evil you? You're calling the spirit of evil you and saying that you were afraid to live in the present when it wasn't you. And yet you say you're trying to get back to the present. Does that sound confusing?
Yeah, I am confused. I'm definitely confused.
Because you still think that the thoughts and the feelings, the fear and all that, you think is you, and it's not you at all. Never has been, never will be, cannot be, is not, ain't you. And it never has been you. You just have identified with it, thinking that it's you. And so the trembling of the present is not you. It's the spirit of evil that made a home in you, and it doesn't want to depart from you. So it's afraid in the light.
Yeah. That makes sense.
In what way?
That there's something that's not me that's holding on to me, or I'm holding on to it.
So why do you keep calling that not you, you?
Because it's all I've ever known.
Right, that's true.
I have no reference to that other way of living. I have nothing to compare and contrast this state of being to. So.
But you've had a glimpse of it, so you do have something.
Yeah.
So you do have
it's
something.
Very tiny.
But still, you have something.
Come again, Jesse?
You still have something because you have a tiny glimpse of the present and you know what it's like.
Yeah.
What I recommend is that you make an effort to just watch those thoughts and let them pass and see what happens. Just watch them coming and going. and let them pass and see what happens. And stop calling them you. It's not you at all. You got to stop saying that so you can stop identifying with it. If you got to say something about it, you can say, that's not me. Those thoughts are not me. Where are those thoughts coming from? You would never create thoughts that would make you feel a falseness of happiness and a sense of evil, feeling bad, up and down.
Yeah.
So when will you stop saying that's me? Or I feel afraid of the present. I feel that. When will you stop calling it I?
When I discover the true I think.
But you're never going to discover it until you stop calling the false I you.
Yeah.
You got to stop identifying with all these identities, false identities that you acquired over the years, thinking that it was you. They're you, and they're not. They're not you. You identify with the devil, calling the devil you.
So is there something I should try and identify with, or is
nothing? You don't want to identify with anything or anyone.
Mm.
And that's the problem. You look for identities and you find all wrong identities.
Yeah. So be nothing, yeah.
You are nothing.
Yeah, I already am nothing, yeah.
But you don't believe that because that's why you won't let go. You think you are something. You think you're your thoughts, your fears, your doubts, your worries. You think it's you. The sensations that you feel in your body, you think it's you.
Yeah.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yeah, but I think I'm like the worst silent prayer ever.
Hold on. Can you hold?
Yeah, sure.
Let me take a break. I asked you about the silent prayer, and what did you say?
I said I think I'm the worst silent prayer ever.
And what does that mean?
Like whenever I sit down to do the silent prayer, it's like I'm going even more deeply into thoughts instead of slowly outside of them.
And who told you that you're the worst ever?
The thoughts I did.
And why?
The false me.
I'm sorry?
The false me.
And why did you believe that?
I don't know, same way I believe all the other thoughts, I guess.
And so you believe the false you in the same way you believe all the other false you?
Yeah.
And you believed it to the point that you even said, I'm the worst silent prayer ever. And you believed the lie and you said, I am, as though it's really true that it's you. When will you stop doing that?
Yeah, I have to stop doing that right now. Right now. There is no other time.
You got to make up your mind. Either you're going to stop calling the thought you, or you're going to continue calling them you and stay in your hell. You are not your thoughts. Why don't you say that if you got to say something?
Yeah.
No, that was a question.
Yeah, why don't I? Because I have no. It's all I've ever known. I have no other.
Okay, so in trembling and shaking, start saying that's not me. If you got it, so you can stop identifying with it. Don't be saying I am the worst prayer person ever. I am the worst this. That's not me. How about that's not me? You won't have to say it eventually because you start to see that it's not you. But why not reverse that order and stop identifying with hell? There is no you. Can't you understand that?
I understand it like on an intellectual level, but practically living moment to moment, day to day, I'm just stuck.
Well, here's what I recommend. From this point forward, every time you fall into a thought, just know you're in a thought and come back to your body. Bring your mind back to your body. And stop saying I and me and have no response to it at all. Don't call it good. Don't call it bad. Don't call it me. And see what happens.
Okay, I'll do that.
And the thing that's inside of you is going to have a hissy fit. You're going to experience all type of thrills. Thrill of feeling good, thrills of feeling bad, thrills of feeling free, thrills of feeling enslaved. But it's not you. That's the evil spirit inside of you that is reacting to the light inside of you.
Yeah.
It's
like
not
right
you
now it's telling
reacting.
Me, yeah, like right now it's telling me just wait until you get off this call and I'll show you who's boss.
And that's beautiful. You can see that. That's not you. Because you're talking to me on the phone and it's having a conversation in your head.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's a third party involved in this conversation.
Right. And that third party is not you.
And it's giving me like side eye and sideways and stuff.
All you need to do is see that. Nothing else is required. There's nothing you need to do about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you ought to do about it. All you need to do is just see that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like about also like a problem with like the silent prayers, I've been trying to like like stuff it down, like the thoughts. It's either I'm like trying to like quiet the thoughts myself, or I'm just like, or I just let go of trying, and I like sink into them even deeper.
And yeah, don't do anything but, when the wind is blowing, can you stuff down the wind?
No, of course not.
Can you stop the wind?
No.
And what do you do when the wind comes?
Just stand there, like feel it on my skin or something.
That's how you do.
Not worry about it. Yeah.
That's how you do with the thoughts.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Just as we don't know where the wind comes and where it goes, you don't know where the thoughts come and where they go. It's just not you.
Yeah.
So stop calling them you. Watch them come and go, and if you fall in and out, and you will for a while because you're so convinced that it's you and not you, but eventually you will see that it's not you, and you'll be able to let them all just pass. They will just pass by with no meaning because it's just a thought until you add meaning to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm bad. Oh, I'm a loser. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. Oh, and then it become important, which is still unimportant, but you make it important when you add to it. But if you just let it be a thought, it's just a thought. It has nothing.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.
Even the ones that remind you of 30 years ago or last night or this morning or tomorrow, it's just a thought with no meanings until you add meanings to it.
Until I identify with it.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just a thought. That's all it is, an empty thought.
Yeah. I understand better now about it, yeah.
It's just a thought. That's all it is.
Exactly, yeah. And it's not real.
It's not you. It's not real. It's nothing but an illusion.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And I don't care what it tells. It'll remind you of things that have already happened or things that will happen, but those are just illusions because what has already happened is done, is over with. And there is no You don't know what tomorrow going to bring, so both are illusion. That's why God says, stay in the present, stay with me,
Yeah.
stay in eternity, not in illusion of time. In eternity, there's nothing there, nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
And allow yourself to feel that nothingness. Don't be afraid of that nothing feeling. Like there's nothing to hold on to, nothing to identify with, nothing to feel, nothing to think about, nothing to want for, nothing. Allow yourself to feel that.
Yeah.
Instead
It
of
does
all these
take
false...
courage.
What?
Yeah. It does take courage to do that, like to just let go and
Well, it
live.
doesn't take courage, it takes doing. There is no courage in the present.
Yeah. Okay.
There's only courage in the illusion of time. Oh, I'm brave now. I'm trying. I'm this. I'm courageous. You're not courageous. You're nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
I think
setup
I'm starting
from the
to get it,
world.
yeah. Definitely, yeah. It's a setup.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like figure out why we came to this point, but like I guess that's another conversation for another day.
Well, don't worry about it now. Let's do it one thing at a time.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think I'm gonna understand better once I'm like over this.
You're in
It's
this
gonna be
world.
made clear to me, yeah.
You're in this world to overcome your fallen state,
Yeah.
to rise above it.
That-
That's why you're
Exactly,
here.
yes. Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Good talking to you, Maggot. Let me know how it goes.
Thanks. I will for sure. Thank you very much, Jesse, and thanks for all the crew out there on Bond.
Right on. Thank you,
Have
buddy.
a good day, everyone.
All right.
Thanks,
You too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
According to James 1, verse 5 through 8. But if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all generously and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But he must ask in faith, without any doubting. For the one who doubts is like the surf of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For that person ought not to expect that he will receive anything from the Lord. He will not receive anything from the Lord, being a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. That's deep. You want understanding. What can I understand from this situation? What can I understand? And don't let the thoughts make you believe anything else. Let the thoughts pass, or they will jump in there.